Bezrat Hashem, we promised that we're going to start talking about the future. And people are, like we said last time, people are confused that they don't know where the direction is, where the world is going to. And everything is according to plan, and I'll show you the plan, Bezrat Hashem. The plan started 6,000 years ago, and we are at the end of the movie. We're gonna, first of all, show you where we are at this time. There's 216 years left for the 6,000 million. And I'll show you something that was written almost 2,000 years ago about our times. And from this, you could see already where we are before the time of Mashiach. This is from the book of Sanhedrin, Talmud Sanhedrin, Amud Tzadik Zayin, page Tzadik Zayin. And it says like this. It says, Dor sheben David babo, the generation that the Mashiach is going to come, what kind of characteristics are going to be in that generation? And he numbers them. He says, Bet vad yeh liznut. All, okay, it's fine, it's going on. All governments are going to be compared to. Stop.
You can.
Okay, Karen. Okay. Governments are going to be like, I'm sorry to say it, but that's what it says, be like Hashem Yishmor, a house of prostitutes. That's what it says in the Gemara. I think a house of prostitutes. Yeah, I think everybody's nodding their heads. They're agreeing with that. Oh, okay. What does it mean? You see, everybody is running not for the people, for their own interest and for their own money. V'Galil Yechrav, it says the Galilee is going to be in a destruction state. This happened already one time, Bezrat Hashem, it happened already, in the big earthquake that was like 200 years ago, where all the Galil was really destroyed. And also now, around this time, you could see that a lot of people are leaving from the Galil because of the war that's today. Anshei gvul yesuvavu me'ir le'ir v'lo yichonenu. Look at this, what it says here. It's something unbelievable. It says the people that are near the border are going to be running from one place to another, yeah? And lo yichonenu. Nobody's going to care what's going on with them. I think this is, if you just look at the news today, you'll see this exactly what we're looking here. There's 100,000 people from Galilee, Hashem Yishmor, and I don't know how many people from the south, going from one hotel to another, from one apartment to another because of the war. And they're screaming and they're yelling, and the situation is very bad. Nobody knows what to do with them. So already you see, this is an indication. It says right here what's going to happen. It's happening in front of us. V'chokhmat sofrim tisrach. What's chokhmat sofrim tisrach? Anybody who knows the Torah, the wisdom in the Torah, people are not going to say, he's fanatic, he's extreme. They're not going to pay attention. Baruch Hashem, there's a lot of people who are paying attention, but there's also a section that's not. Bezrat Hashem, they'll pay attention. B'yir'eh chet yim'asu. Anybody who's afraid, has a fear from sinning, is going to be like, people are going to be saying, he's old-timer, old-fashioned, whatever. Also, I have to say something, it's also in the Torah world, we're not talking today enough, I think, about Yirat Shamayim. We're talking about love, we're talking about kissing and hugging, but we have to know that there's also corrections here. If we don't behave right, then there's It's not an easy thing not to be right with Hashem, because He corrects us. And we have to talk about it and know that to fear, not to do anything against Hashem, chas v'shalom. And the most beautiful thing that it says here, Ufnei ador kivnei kelev. The face of the generation is going to look like the face of a dog. Now, I know everybody loves dogs. They're going to translate it to a very nice thing. But I have to tell you one thing about dogs. A dog is the first one that's running, and the owner is behind him with the rope. And then he stops, and he looks again to see where the owner is. He sees that he's holding him, he continues running. What does it mean? Look at the governments today. Why are they compared to a dog that's looking back to see where the owner is? All governments today are run by statistics, which means to say that they all day long, they're just looking at statistics to see how popular they can be if they decide this thing or if they decide that thing. Wars are going about statistics. Politicians, statistics. What does it mean? Many, many times, the politician or the president, whoever he is, has to decide decisions that are not popular because he knows information that the people don't know. And he has to be a leader. He has to decide all kinds of things that are good for the nation, irregardless of what people think. That's not happening anymore. What's happening now, the politicians, presidents are looking at the people, what they're saying, and then they go according to that. And that's not real leadership. Because many, many times we don't know exactly the information that they know, and we can't decide things for them. So pnei ador kivnei hakelev, they're like the dog is running forward and he's looking back to see what the owner is, where the owner is. And who is the owner? The statisticians. They are the ones that are owners of this generation. And va'emet ne'ederet. Truth is almost gone. Ne'ederet is like somebody who's lost. And they have teams to go and find it. Truth is almost lost. Look at the news today. Most of the news today is brainwashing. If it's a leftist news, and it gives you all the information what the leftists, the brainwash of the leftists. Rightist, brain of the rightist. What the news are, we have no idea. Because all we need to know is really what's going on. Is there a war? What's going on in the war? Is the economy? Just facts. What we used to hear a long time ago, that were just facts, without any opinions of all these people that are giving the news, that's gone already. We're just being brainwashed according to the newscaster. And that's why we have no idea what's going on. We don't know. The trust of governments are on the downslide. Banks, all the institutions. We are slowly not trusting anybody. And it says that also in the Torah. It says in the Tehillim, V'imotu kol mosdei aretz. That's in Tehillim. King David, alav shalom. The Malbim, who is a translation of there, it says that in the end of times, before Mashiach comes, all the institutions are going to be gone. Banks, hospitals, whatever we put our trust in, which is money, everything that is in the world that we trust, and we make it into as if it's controlling the world, the dollar, governments, banks. I'm not saying, and this is not my opinion, I'm just telling you what it says in the Torah. All this is going to be gone. Why? Because who's going to be left to trust? Only Hashem. And that's the purpose of all this Geulah. All the fear that's going on in the world is for one thing. Not for vengeance, chas v'shalom. It's a correction that Hashem wants to show the whole world that if you trust the dollar, what will you do if I take the dollar away? If you trust politicians, what will you do if governments fall? If you trust armies, what would you do if the army goes? So slowly, all these trusts that we have, as if they are the ones that are controlling the world, is taken away. And this is going to be a process that's going to take for some time until only Him will be left. Which means that all the world will look upstairs and say, He is the one that's controlling the world. Not the dollar, not the banks, not hospitals, not the multi-millionaires. He is the one. That's where we're going to. שנאמר, ותהיה האמת נהדרת. The emet, truth, is going to be slowly, is gone. Look how much, when we were controlled by media, if you look at the media, it's all about commercials that are taking people, attention from people to buy stuff. Nothing real is really going on. Nobody is really telling the truth of what's happening without trying to influence our opinions. והאמת נעשית עדרים והולכת לה. What happens with the truth? Each one says, the truth is with me. And the other one says, no, the truth is with me. I am the truth. There's a group saying, no, this is the way the world should be running. The other one is saying, no, this is the world, this is left, this is right, this is middle, this is backward, forwards. It's becoming groups and groups and groups of people. And of course, where is the truth? There's only one absolute truth in the world, and that's the Torah. The rest is lies that are being presented as truths. Let me explain that point very, very well. A human being cannot find the truth on his own. He can't. Because we have interests. Our body is taking us to many, many different routes that have nothing to do with the truth. We're all the time directed by our body. And our body is not objective. We go and say, this is the truth, but there is an interest there. That's why I'm saying this is the truth. The pure truth, objective, without any interest, except for our own good, is in the Torah. That's where the truth is. Yeah. And then it says another thing here. Here. Look at the families. It says something amazing about families. It says when the Ben David comes, Mashiach comes, the generation that comes, the Mashiach comes in it. Ne'arim yalbinu pnei zkenim. The young people are going to be shaming the old people. Where was that? 50, 60 years ago. When the elders were respected. I remember even when I was in Montreal at the time, America, even here, you see an old man, he was respected. Today, the elders are trying to copy the young people. You see them going, putting cuckoos and all kinds of things and trying to become like a 20-year-old. Why? Because they lost their respect. And the young, 20 years old, 30 years old, they're the ones who are adored with the money and with whatever culture there is. The old people are going to stand up in front of young people, which is supposed to be different. Exactly the opposite. You go to a bus, you used to see an old man, used to stand up to let him sit. Today, the old man is coming out, and the young one is sitting. Bat kama be'ima, a daughter rebels against her mother. Look how many fights there is, chas v'shalom, in families today. There's almost no family that doesn't have fights inside them. The daughter is chutzpah against the mother. Kala b'chamota, bride against her mother-in-law. Ve'en haben mitbayesh me'aviv. The son has no shame from his father. He's disrespectful, and his father is trying always. You see parents today, they are completely controlled by their kids. the kids are the kings, and the parents are just giving them whatever they want. Dor continues. Ha'azut tirbeh, chutzpah, is going to be very, very, rise very, very high. Hayoker ya'amin, ve'agefen titen piryo. It says that things are going to be very, very expensive at the end of times, before Mashiach comes. Not because of scarcity. No. According to economics, what makes the price rise? If something is scarce. So it makes the price rise. The Torah here, 2,000 years says, 2,000 years ago it says, no, there's going to be plentiful wine, grapes are going to be plentiful in the world. Still, there's going to be a rise in prices, which is against the common sense, but that's what's going to happen. We see it all day long. Ve'en tochecha. Nobody is stopping and staying for a second. Look, where are we going? What's going on with this world? Where are our morals? Let's see what Hashem wants us to do. Let's see what the Creator wants us to do. Nobody's opening books. I'm not saying nobody, okay? I'm saying certain groups. Not opening the book and look what somebody created you. Look what He wants from you. Why are you here? Okay. Now there's something that's also very, very amazing in the page Tzadik Chet. It says, at the end of time, when David comes, before Mashiach comes, and but David, he won't come until shetichle malchut hazala miYisrael, until the kingdom of Israel is going to transfer to the kingdom of Hashem. And it says here something amazing. Malchut hazala, it says, שלא תהיה להם שום שולטנות לישראל, אפילו שולטנות קלה ודלה. Before the Mashiach comes, here in Israel, it's going to be very, very hard to rule in the government. There's no rule. So, all this prophecy that's going on here, we're looking at it in front of our eyes every day. So obviously, we are very, 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 maybe we're at the year before Mashiach comes, Be'ezrat Hashem. Nobody knows the date. If anybody tells you the date when Mashiach comes, there's no such thing. The Torah says even Hashem keeps the date to himself, without saying to anybody. We don't know the time, but look at the indications here. All the indications are fulfilled one after another. I'll show you something else, Be'ezrat Hashem. Oh, we're almost finished. Tough. For next time, Be'ezrat Hashem. We'll continue. We're going to show the next time, Be'ezrat Hashem, Baruch, what's going on with Ishmael. What's going on with us and Ishmael? Why is there such a big war over a small, small piece of land when they have millions of acres that they don't know what to do with them? Why are they coming here and fighting with us over this little piece of land? It's not because of governments. It's not because of armies. It's not because of nothing that we think about that the news show us. We're going to show different news. We're going to show the inside story, Be'ezrat Hashem, next time when we see you. Hashem yishmor atkhem. Kol tov.